Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Facebook Live. It is the 27th of December, year 2023. So this will be our last Facebook Live for this year. So Happy New Year to all of those that are going to join. May we will meet in the new year again. So let me get started. I know April had some oral surgery, so she won't be able to join. And even Kelly and Kelly will not be able to join. So I only have Patricia here. And let's see if anybody else joins. And I have Sri Lakshmi that has joined us online to listen to the conversation. So good evening, Patricia. Patricia is part of our core group of meditators. Since it's the last week of the year, how do you feel, Patricia, about the whole year? Uh, what changes have you made? How do you feel? Have the Facebook Lives and the group meditation, how have they affected you? And I'll go tag everyone while you're speaking. And if you have anything to say about the last conversation that we were having on the conflicts everywhere, anything that you would like to talk about, you can get started and then I'll come back and talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you. About reflect on the year that's about to end. I love the Facebook Lives, every one of them, and all the workshops. And they kept me anchored, lives and the Friday meditations. And I think I've been through a lot, and it's time to do something different instead of concentrate on the heartaches, to really see how much we accomplished and appreciate ourselves. And I think that this year I had two words. There seemed to be a theme for me, and they came to me at the end of the previous year, and that was patience and perspective. Perspective as of not being personal and just taking that distance from what's going on and being reactive. So those two, and life gave me a lot of challenging situations when I needed to check my patience, to learn. So I was very grateful for every one of them, and I absolutely love Dr. Joe's meditations. I honestly, right now, doing it every day in the morning just changed my life, helped my energy during the day, and just being more present. And my goal was to be 1% more present today than I was yesterday. I've been being playful with the universe and how I co-created certain situations and actually have fun with it. I mean, these are little stuff. I'm still feeling every once in a while the fear. It's like a shadow from the past that tries to take over, but then I surrender. And it's amazing how a lot of gurus and spiritual teachers show up on YouTube when you need them. And many times it's just Poonam saying, "Here, Patricia, watch this." And I jump on it, which I give myself credit for it. It's like I have this ability to just, wow, something is given to me and I'm opening it and going with it. And taking whatever needs to happen, whatever needs to be taught at that moment, and I'm open to it. I'm just observing. My person still tries to come up and change my mood or make up a story to bring me back to my old self. As Dr. Joe says, you know, you keep at it, you keep being vigilant, remembering what you don't want to think, what thoughts you don't wanna, what feelings you don't wanna feel. And once they appear, it's like, oh, there you are. Thank you for reminding me what I don't want. And then switching to the thoughts and feelings that we wanna think and feel. So it's been work for me that year, a lot of spiritual work, but I loved it. Sometimes it felt like during a week I was working at office and then weekend was supposed to be relaxing. But then because on the weekend I was able to double up on my meditations, that's where real work happened. Real progress, real changes. And just recently, when I listened to Dr. Joe's talk, it was the interview in School of Greatness, when he was talking about love and what people in a relationship do the best, forgive. And he was talking about loving yourself and how that's attractive, instead of worrying about how well we love other people. If you love yourself, that's naturally will be attractive, and you will attract people that need to be in your life in that moment, instead of being needy and acting out of lack. And I know he says this over and over again, but with the practice of meditation, you come to the point when you can actually hear it, like, and knowing it, like this is the truth, absolute truth, and there's nothing else, and just experience the truth in your own life. And that's what I love feeling about the truth. And when he was discussing being instead of having a heart attack, having a love attack. I actually the other day was just taking a walk in that crazy weather in December in New York, when it's supposed to be cold and snowy. It was 50-degree and there was blue sky. And I was going to the mailbox, which is further in my development. So it's this little walk, like 7-minute walk to the mailbox, with my bills that I have to check, you know. And all of a sudden, I just was happy. There was no absolute reason for it. And I started skipping, like a 5-year-old kid, just skipping because it's fun and it's lovely. And then I came home and I was listening to this song. It's like, oh, that's what it was. I had a love attack just out of the blue. And that's what all the meditations, the center of the magnet, I believe, did. And Dr. Joe in his talks encourages, if it doesn't happen, within the 7 days, or it doesn't happen within 2 weeks, keep going. It will happen. Might need take a little longer, but just love yourself through the process, be patient, and just keep going, because it's worth it. And I really also, the big thing for me was change too. Embracing the change and choosing the change. So just not accepting the old patterns of behavior, noticing them and choosing something different. And that's where the change come in. And I'm right now, when I do meditations, I don't do it to heal. Like he says, just do it to change. Because once we change, the healing will just happen. Like you can't heal because you force the healing. You got to change your identity, become a new person, or maybe divine, become a divine being more than a person. So I don't know if that answers. I can talk a lot, but I would love to hear from everybody else about their year. But I think it's important, and I see it now, to give yourself some credit that we're sticking to it, we're showing up, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it. And sometimes my moods were not great, but I still showed up and saw certain parts of myself, the ugly ones that I did not want to see. But it was okay because I was not identified with it. And that's Eckhart's teachings, seeing that you're not the behavior, you're not the reaction, you're not the mistake, you're not even the success, you just space. And his door to presence that Poonam was playing for us, I mean, it was incredible in like such simple way, just sitting and observing the space. And I did it. And once you let yourself experience the space, you just love it. I mean, you realize we focus so much on objects and everything tangible, but then space is so much more cool. It's everywhere and it opens up your heart. So that's what it's all about. Love, love, just love. And yes, in everyday moments, triggers happens and they're there for a reason. They're testing you almost if you have enough presence or the trigger, it's still powerful. So I checked it, especially with my daughter, especially when she comes for holidays. And I love the fact that I react differently. It's making such a difference for me. And I hope with time it will allow my daughter to also choose to change instead of to be stuck with her shadow taking over. But I can't do it for her. I understood it very well. We can't change others or even show them the way if they're not ready. They have to be in the right space. So our job is to change ourselves and be the presence and be an example, but not to disrespect their journey, as they're here on a soul contract with us to provide exactly the lessons, and being grateful for everybody in our lives, even the villains, so-called, even the people that, according to our old stories, hurt us so much. Seeing the divine in them, seeing how hard they worked to provide us with those very tough lessons that seemed very painful, but they needed to be painful for us to make a decision to change. If they were just comfortable and everything was so, we would be still stuck. The decision to change many times is because of the immense suffering that happens. So altogether, like Lakshmi always says, grateful, grateful, being grateful for absolutely everything. So that's my year. And it's not over yet. I still have few days to experience that love affair with life and embracing the good moments and the bad moments and everything around the space. And I do have another healing that I signed up for, coherence healing on, that's playing with dates. For me, it was numbers, different combination of number 8, 0, and 1. I even see it right now. It's so crazy on my computer, on other people's phones, on driver's licenses, on other cars that someone just cuts me in, and for a moment I get upset, and then I see their license 8180. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's been fun with the numbers. I'm not really sure yet completely what it means, all of it. I didn't win $1 million in the lottery using the numbers, but I think I want something more, just connection to the source and being just a little playful instead of constant living in fear and anger and sadness, which were the 3 emotions that were very familiar to me for most of my life. So I'm working on getting that. And my healing is on 111 on 11th of January, which is exactly where the portal ends. And I also had a healing on 11/11. I did the walk for the world with Dr. Joe and thousands of people around on 11/11. It was amazing. So all these experiences added up to an amazing year. And I also got a divorce in a wonderful way, loving and grateful way. So it was a very interesting and beautiful experience. Very different from every other case that I witnessed, which I was in group on Zoom call with a judge, and everybody was just very serious and sad, and there was a lot of feelings that I felt coming from other people, other couples that were divorcing. But my heart was so vulnerable and open and grateful for everything that it just went my way completely. I didn't get anything, but I got freedom, and I blessed my ex-partner. So that had the right, Poonam, that entanglement. So it was a very profound experience for me. So amazing year, and I'm really looking forward to staying with you, with all of you, and continuing my journey home. Like Dr. Joe says, back to oneness with everyone.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Patricia, for sharing your year recap. I do want to, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for your testimonial. I do want you to make it clear to everyone. So you've been with this group for 2 years, and I had been saying that so I want everybody to realize what is Dean Graziosi and Anthony Williams say? What was the needle mover? So I've been always saying do 2 hours of meditation every day, 2 hours of meditation every day. When did you start your evening meditation, which was an hour-long meditation? Like we discussed, like heavily discussed during group meditation, that you have to with the amount of mental activity that you have throughout the day, that you need that hour of meditation every day. and you switched, right? When did that happen? Like 2 months ago? Has it been 2 months? In November, you made the switch?
Probably, yeah, you might be right.
In November, you made
Finally,
the switch.
finally, I was exhausted and exhausted and exhausted. And you said something that I need to choose and be as determined as I'm with my medical medium food, which I was, to be with meditation. And if something is in my way, you said, no, this is more important. That was the way you say things to me. I don't know, it's just pierce that, like this, that sort of, presence and the truth. And this is the way, the same way you were just chipping a little bit, chipping. Remember the first big turnaround was just all those sticky post-its on my wall everywhere I go, to just be in my face, surrender, because I was so habituated to fight and resist and fight and resist, because I needed to control everything. And that was the mode, because I lived in fear and everything was, I was, in danger all the time. So knowing to surrender to higher power that you don't have to control, and something loves me, and that something was that divine spark in me. So I didn't have to look for it from the outside, from my parents, from my bosses, from my husband. Just that spark, of divinity, the heart, which is really the heart center, to strengthen it, to give it. I would say mentally, just say, I give my heart the executive powers of my life. You decide, not the brain. The brain is a great servant, but lousy master. That's word of one of the spiritual teachers as well. So, wow, that's
Incredible work.
amazing.
1 year and you turned it around. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you were able to receive and you were able to like follow the instructions. I'm gonna read what Louise said. I'm not my thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, and experiences. I'm not the content of my life. I am life. I'm the space in which all things happen. I am consciousness. I'm the now. I am. And this is Eckhart Tolle in Stillness Speaks. So one thing that Patricia was referring to was doorways into presence. And that was small videos where Eckhart shows how to be in presence day to day. And we all enjoyed it, right, Lakshmi? We enjoyed the small videos that we watched of Eckhart, like
Yes,
holding on to
absolutely.
things, showing us different ways of how to bring presence. Did you want to recap your year, Lakshmi, and contribute? Thank you so much for joining us. Grateful
Yeah,
for the
thank you for sending me the link. I usually join, but I just go into the Facebook group, and so I'm not visible to the audience. So, yes, the year, most of the year was, felt like, oh my God, this is a blessing. And then, it was very easy for me to stay in the present moment awareness. And then, but the year came with its own challenges. And then, of course, that's when we need to put all the teaching into practice. So deeper acceptance, opening heart at a deeper level, and deeper surrender. I use 2 surrender mantras that I have. So I constantly use them. And I was actually reading Jill Bolte Taylor's book in last 2-3 days during my travel to Death Valley and Joshua Park. It's just so amazing, because Patricia was telling that the brain, listen to the heart, not to the brain. But in her experience of when she was having that attack, the hemorrhage happened in the left hemisphere of the brain, and then and so her right side of the body was getting paralyzed, but her right hemisphere was intact, and she was experiencing bliss and nirvana, where the right hemisphere was completely active, but the left hemisphere was the one which stores numbers, which has clear demarcation between every object that we see, and which knows past and future and all that. So she experiences that all that was getting removed. Everything around her, including her, there was no boundary. She didn't know where she began and she ended. She didn't know where all the objects around her began and ended. And when she was in hospital, she could read energy of the people who came with positive energy and who were like energy vampires. So anyway, it took her a very long time, 8 years, to resurrect her left brain to be functional in this world, to be normal according to the world definition. And now she says, use the 90-second rule, because when you feel that anger, frustration, or whatever that negative emotion that comes up, left brain wants to tell a story. Oh my God, this is happening based on your past and all that. But the right brain is the one which wants you to stay in the present moment awareness. So 90 seconds is when you can use your breathing, your mantra, or whatever that you can use so you don't react. And then you can realize that what a gift those 90 seconds were. So deeper acceptance of, yes, this is a trigger right now, this is challenging right now, but not to react those 90 seconds. So thoroughly enjoyed reading her book. Yes, we all have to go through our challenges. Life comes with our challenges. So deeper acceptance and deeper surrender. And staying with the group, of course, has helped me a lot, doing Joe Dispenza meditations on regular basis, and doing my own mantra meditations also at the same time while I'm walking and washing dishes and stuff like that, so that I remind myself to constantly stay in the present moment awareness. And wherever I go, I remind myself that to see the sacred in everything and in everyone, especially people. Like the minute my judgmental brain comes up, oh, she's taking too late for this line, or whatever judgment that my mind makes, my awareness immediately comes and tells me that I am judging. And then I start saying that there is a sacred being, that he or she may or may not be aware of that sacred aspect within them, but I need to see everyone as sacred beings until the sacred in them remembers. So that has been my mantra from the past few days. So wherever I go, and I also, when there are big groups of people, I also ask divine force to use me, and so that I start blessing everybody around me. And when I was in Death Valley, there was this beautiful place called Badwater Basin. And I think somehow I manifested it, because in last one of the Wednesday talks, Kelly was mentioning how salt is used to purify and cleanse yourself. And this whole place is made out of thick salt depositions. It's like the whole place, it seems like miles and miles of ice, but it is miles and miles of salt deposits. And so I was walking on them, inviting each and every person that I know in my life, as they are walking with me and cleansing all of their negative energy. and giving it to that earth. So it has been a beautiful experience. So yes, thankful to everybody in my life right now. Um, Thankful to all the difficulties that are arising also. Um, I don't know how much more I can say, but Kritanyaham and grateful. That's all.
I'm really grateful for your insights, Lakshmi. Thank you so, so much. And I know Luis has joined us online as well. And Dave has joined us, and he's online with us here with Sri Lakshmi. So grateful for all of you and your input.
Thank you.
One of the most exciting part, I feel, we offer workshops as part of this group, and Lakshmi is one of the session leaders in the workshops. I felt, so we did 2 workshops, one in, I think, February, March timeframe, and the other one was in November. And I felt the November workshop was very, very powerful. There was a immediate shift in the session leaders as well. So there's some like quantum leap in the energy field of the session leaders. I don't know how you felt receiving the workshop, Patricia, in November. But there was this marked difference from all previous workshops. I felt the November workshop was extremely powerful.
Yes,
If
I agree.
right, there
Yeah,
was some change in the energy. Like Shima's session was incredible, and it's like we don't people don't realize we actually, all the session leaders are given a heading of what the workshop is, but we never discuss what each one is going to talk about during the workshop. But the way the session starts, like April's session flows into my session, or my session flows into Kelly's. I think Shuma's session, Terry did a session and Shuma just took it up. And I don't think she had planned that she would continue what Terry was going to, the energy field that Terry had created, right? She made us flow that whole energy field into the physical body through movement. So it really was extremely meaningful. Shuma did message me on the side and said that next time they're going to do it in a more planned way so that Shuma can start first and start the movement, and then it flows into Terry's work. So it'll be more coordinated, but it was really, really breathtaking to see that evolution among the session leaders. We've been doing it for a couple of years, so right?
I feel that divine power was so present in those sessions, and especially in each session different. But remember when Ryan was just talking and we didn't see him,
He disappeared.
and you played Eckhart, and then he came back and said, "Oh, you guys didn't? I just did." I mean, it was almost like experience exactly what happens. Like he was talking about getting rid of the presence, right?
You're saying nothing, right? What does nothing? What is nothingness? Or
Right.
his topic was around that, and he
Yes, how to
disappeared. Like he
even
became
get
a
rid of
nothing.
your spiritual ego, that people develop spiritual ego, and then you need to really disappear. And then he did actually
His Zoom
disappear.
session had an issue. Yeah.
It
That was
was
incredible.
incredible. Yes. So I agree. Yes, Poonam. And how was your year? Healing, a lot of healing. You healed so many souls with your presence on those coherence healing sessions.
It was incredible. I do have to say that there is more. There is always more to grow. I wanted to tie it back into the last time we were talking about, like Kelly was talking about why all the evil happens, right? Like the wars happened, and he was giving the historical reason about maybe there's some background of some Nazi um, influence on different parts of the Middle East. One of the things that I got interested in because of April always talking about Dolores Cannon. I don't know how many people here watch any videos of Dolores Cannon. I've been reading her, doing her audiobooks, and I watched some of her videos first on YouTube, and I got so interested that I started reading her books, like audiobooks. And she says that like when the first atomic, like it almost feels, I'm going to paraphrase here, the way I felt from all her talks and all her books was as though there are other entities, and I can tie this into what Dr. Joe Dispenza says as well. So we are not alone. Like we get into this 3D world and say, we kind of think we get sucked into the 3D world, right? And say, oh, this mass shooting happened, or this war happened, or this atomic bomb when, exploded, like in World War II, the atomic bomb exploded, right? I think, actually, I'm gonna mute you. You can always unmute yourself. And so what she said was the moment the atomic bomb exploded, like she calls it the first wave of so that there are entities that are watching planet Earth, like they're extraterrestrial entities, whatever you may call these entities, right? They're watching, and y'all can ask me questions as I'm speaking about it. They're extraterrestrial entities that are watching Earth and interested in the human evolution. You know, they're interested in our evolution and the evolution of Earth. And she also talks about this new Earth, where she says that the consciousness will change to such a degree that the Earth will separate itself, and there will be a new Earth created that will be a totally different consciousness, and people with the old consciousness will remain on the old Earth, and people who are evolved, right, vibrationally, will move to the new Earth. So she talks about that too. But she said the moment the atomic bomb went through, she calls it the first wave of people who reincarnated and incarnated, actually. And these were entities that took on the moment they saw that there was instability on Earth, they said, okay, we need to take birth and kind of like make sure that these people don't have a past life. These are entities or souls that don't have a past life, have never taken birth on Earth, but took took birth so that they could bring down the violence and bring that stability of compassion and empathy. So she calls it the first waivers or something of that sort. So the same way, if you'll watch on YouTube something about blue beings, during Dr. Joe Dispenza's, he does what is called a coherence healing, which is during the retreat, there are 3 healing sessions held, which are called coherence healings, in-person coherence healings. They may be out of 2,000 attendees, there may be 200-300 people that are picked by random computer generated picks, right? Like people can have stage 4 cancer, they can have some kind of complicated injury due to an accident, they may have a stroke, they may be paralyzed, they may be on, like we watched a testimonial where this woman was, had COVID and she had long haul COVID. And because of that, she was in a wheelchair bound. She was like paralyzed. So people are, there are 200 people like that are healies, and then the other 1,800 or 1,700 people become healers. And during the healing session, some people have said that they see these tall blue beings. They are entities that enter the ballroom at that time. And there are people that have said, I'm going to paraphrase, like, this person may have cancer, but they'll like move her body and kind of like jerk around, and she goes, I'm in pain, don't move it. But they say, no, I'm going to correct your leg or your abdomen first. First, we need to correct these 5 things before we can correct your whole, the cancer itself. And sure enough, this person heals, right? They have an spontaneous remission. So they are entities. I want everyone to know and take it into year 2024 that the earth is not going to be destroyed. It's like there are entities involved. Like we may look at the 3-dimensional, if you get into the three-dimensional absorption of what is going on and get sucked in and start to vibrate at that vibrational energy of, oh, I need to be worried, I need to be in panic, I need to be in anger about this war that is going on, or what is going on in Ukraine, what is going on in the Middle East, then we are participating in that negativity. Instead of that, if we go, oh, there are these entities, can I get in connection? How can I get in connection with these entities? How can I raise, and these entities, Dr. Joe Dispenza says, they are at such a high vibrational frequency that we cannot see them, or we cannot connect with them until we raise our vibrational frequency. And that's what happens during in the ballroom, right? He's prepared us for 2 or 3 days. Like if you start on a Saturday or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe the first healing happens on Wednesday. So we've had 3 days. If it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have the first healing on Wednesday or Thursday, then we have one on Friday, then we have one on Saturday. So it almost is like he's prepared us for 2 or 3 days, opening up our heart, opening up the 1,800 people's heart, right? Along with the healings as well. So I do want all of you to, like, if you want to get some inspiration, listen to Dolores Cannon. She's passed away, so you may get some old material, but do listen to Dolores Cannon and see how much she talks about UFOs, extraterrestrials, how extraterrestrials actually. So we are a planet where we are called the free will experiment. They will never ever interfere with our free will. Like it's nothing. And I feel I have, when Patricia said that I chipped away at Patricia, exactly that I followed that principle, because Eckhart follows that principle of, he will never say you have to do this. He will never say you have to, I mean, he says, oh, I mean, he gives examples, right? In presence, this is the state that we experience, or this is your ego, but he never says do this to do that, right? He never ever lays down a certain prescriptive path that you have to follow. So he honors our free will. We just have to realize, excuse me, we just have to realize that what Eckhart is saying is, hey, I need you to be in stillness, find a way to be still. Try out different methods and find out what works for you and be still. That's what he is saying. So I did the same. It's a free will experiment. I will never ever say, I will say my example. I'll say I do 2 hours of meditation, right? Or at least an hour and a half, hour, 45-minute meditation. And I do leave alone meditation. I mix it in with during the day, I would go outside and just be in my backyard, look at the sun, look at the sky. Yesterday was full moon. I was telling everyone on our medical medium chat that I just went meditated on the full moon. I sat in my patio chair for 15-20 minutes and just looked at the moon for 15-20 minutes. It was so beautiful. I know Lakshmi went off video, so do y'all have any questions, Patricia, to what I said?
No, I mean, I love listening about the healing and what Dr. Joe's work is, because his formula is amazing and it works for, I think, a lot of people that need the explanation. The brain, right? When you understand why you're doing it, it's so much more powerful when you're actually doing it. And with Eckhart, he is just it. He is the presence, but I sometimes just didn't know how to do it. Here with Dr. Joe's meditation, he basically tells you, this is what's going to happen. That's what I'm going to do. And this is why I'm doing it. So, you know, I hope you enjoy it. Like, all right, let's go. Because I didn't have that fear that, you know, I'm not going to know. And you just have to trust something. And, you know, there is that resistance in me. I was not going to trust because the trust was an issue for me. So someone said, just surrender. And I just like, okay. So I needed the reminders that that's what I want to do. But how? How do I surrender? You know what I mean? So that I found it, my personal experience, I found it very useful. And I had a similar experience with the very first meditations by Dr. Joe that Michelle did, that she was like, oh, it's too loud, too like aggressive. You know, you think meditation is supposed to be so smooth and slow, and he just, you know, brings it up. But then he explained why, that you need energy to break that habit. You need something more to come out of, and it works. So he had all the testimonials, you know, and he still works with free will. I have to have that will to do it, right? And everybody that was giving testimonials so far that I heard was just like, I wanted to change. That's it. I'm just being stronger than my body, because my body wants to be sleepy. Body wants to be tired. It's gonna make excuses. Oh my God, no, I can't do it. It's like I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that. I'm too depressed. But you gotta have that will that it's stronger than any of it. And just sit down, close your eyes, and watch your thoughts trying to steal you, and just sit there and watch it do it and not letting it happen. It's extremely incredible experience. So if any one of you did not do Dr. Joe's meditation, I really, really suggest you try it. Just why not? Why not?
Thank you so much, Patricia. I think what he says in the video that Patricia is talking about, where he's talking to Louise House about, and Louise House was, if Louise House during the video says he attended the advanced retreat, he attended the advanced retreat in Dallas last year with us in 2022. And Dr. Joe does not, even all the celebrities that come to his retreats, they are treated exactly like there's no word. I didn't even know that Louise House was there because it's like 2,000 people and they're like in a different group, right? But then I saw some of the people on social media post like at where we eat lunch or the ballroom where we eat lunch or dinner, or breakfast and lunch. Some people took group photos with young women, right? People who are young get attracted to Louis house. People in their 30s and 40s, they posted picture with him. The one thing I wanted to say about that talk is Dr. Joe's principle of be in love with your future self. If you don't have, he says in that conversation with Louis house, he says, I have no time to sit and discuss the past. I will not discuss the past. Like when people talk about, oh, look, I had this much pain and I had this financial loss and I had this, oh, look at poor little me. I went through this childhood trauma. He says, I have no time for the past. He says, be in love, have a vision for your future, and be in love with that future self. Let that future self pull your present self out into the future. And that is the biggest mistake people make, is they get stuck in the past with, oh, what happened to me in the past? What happened with my parents? What happened with my exes? What happened? And they're constantly, where attention goes, energy flows. They're constantly laying their past onto the present, and that becomes the future. The past becomes the future. The past becomes the future. Dr. Joe is saying, no, don't do that. Just have a vision for your future and become that future self. And I think Patricia is starting to master that future self. And I'm going to ask you, Hugh, you've joined us. Did you want to talk about something from what we have been discussing? Thank you.
Yeah, I was glad to see everybody. It's been a while. I was just like listening to you guys with Dispenza, and I really haven't been putting the work in lately. You know, I mean, I've been hitting the recordings, but I just as far as Joe Dispenza goes, like Patricia was saying earlier, that's what attracted me to that guy. Was he was giving you the scientific reasoning, like when Eckhart says, don't try to understand it. You know, your mind just don't understand about presence. You know, you're just basically have faith in it. Where Dispenza breaks it down and gives you an analytical science to it. You know, and that's what it's got me drawn towards him. But you know, I can only take. I'm still focused on Eckhart. I just can't jump into Dispenza right now. But I'm headed that way. So, oh, and by the way, I'm cured. I just got my PET scan back. So I just got,
Oh, congratulations, you did it. You did it. You were a miracle worker.
yeah, they say I broke the record. I mean, basically I got Friday is when my PET scan come back clean. So just got a couple more surgeries and I'm done. You know, just getting this junk off, you know. So I've been out of commission because my voice has been screwed up. I don't think getting on here and squealing. You know?
Hey,
Congratulations, Hugh. That is awesome news. So happy to hear that.
And you know something? People are saying, "Oh, how do you feel? How do you feel?" And be honest with you, I don't feel any different from day one because working with you guys, I mean, I've kept the same mental outlook, the isness of the situation, like Eckhart talks, you know, and I didn't feel any anxiety. I mean, except for that one day when I told you I read the one report wrong. Like I had multiple cancers. I was like, oh God. But I flipped out for about a minute or two. But you know, other than that, I just never accepted me having it, you know, and that's the isness of the situation. I was just dealing with it to where I wouldn't succumb into the disease, you know. So just with the Eckhart stuff, it really kept me grounded, and like I said, I didn't have no anxiety and no depression, man. It was like a pretty good experience, to be honest. I mean, I mean, to this minute, I just like, I can't look back on anything. I didn't have one bad moment, you know? I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but a therapist, um, part of the cancer group, they give you a therapist, and I talked to her today and I explained it to her, and she says, that's how strong your belief is and what you believe in. And I said, well, come to find out, I didn't tell you guys, but the therapist I got is the universe gave me a mindful therapist. She's got Eckert down. It's like we had the best talks, and she told me today, she goes, she has the most enjoyable talks with me because we were like on the same page. I mean, she's been mindful since 1997,
Fantastic.
and it's just like me. It'd be like me and you, Poonan, or me and you, Patricia, having a one-on-one conversation. It was just incredible. So it really helped out. But the universe sent me a lot of good things. So I didn't mean to get off base, but I was just bringing you guys up to speed.
You're not off base. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's we are more thrilled that you had a diagnosis. You want to tell everyone what your diagnosis this year? So your year, we are recapping our year, right? So your diagnosis at the beginning of the year was what?
I'm having a very hard time hearing you.
Are you having a hard time hearing me, Patricia?
It's just, I got you. I just got to listen real close. I'm sorry, say it again, can you?
So at the beginning of the year, what was your diagnosis?
My diagnosis was in January. My onset started on the 28th of June, and my PET scan was clear on the 23rd of December. So that's
And
that
and
what you said?
is that normal?
They said that well, let's put it this way, it would probably be average, but I can tell you that everything the way I heal was unusual. I mean, as far as how fast I healed, they were just like just dumbfounded. When when he looked down my throat and said the tumor, he's not saying nothing. It's like, well, what's going on? He goes, the tumor's gone. He's like, it's gone. Like there's no evidence that the tumor was here. You know, and he was pushing me to do chemo, and I'm like, I ain't doing chemo. Ain't no way in hell, man. I'm going radiation. I'll do the radiation, but that's it. But and he just said that usually you have the PET scan comes back hot, and then it's not unusual to have two more PET scans to be clear. So I was cleared the first go around.
This is like you were the testimonial of how our body has an innate capacity to heal. The philosophy that Dr. Joe teaches, right? One is not to believe, yeah, we need the doctors to do the testing and tell us where we are and what is needed, but not to believe the doctor that, oh, you have a tumor and now it cannot be healed, or start to believe their thoughts. And if you see the testimonials of everyone that talks about the spontaneous remissions, they always say, I did not believe my doctor. My doctor said I had COVID. Like this lady, she did a testimonial during our Dallas retreat in October of this year. She said she had like some kind of bone density, like she had to wear a body brace. She's like 30 something years old. She had to, and she's beautiful. And I gave Patricia and all the people, I may have posted her testimonial on uh, our group page too, because I always post the testimonials. And she was like some kind of body brace. She was riding a scooter. She had such a horrible immune system that she had to be isolated into one room in her house and have those air purifiers, like 3 air purifiers so that she wouldn't fall sick. And she could only eat a few certain things, and she healed.
Yeah, I
One
got,
healing, and she healed, attending one of the Denver retreat or something.
it's funny after the one healing I went to, after and I signed up for another one like you said, but they never got back to me. But the other thing is, I will say after that healing, now that I think about it, what was odd was I didn't need the machines no more. I got two machines I have to use, one's like nebulizer and the other one for sucking out my throat. I know it sounds gross, but that's what happens. So, but yeah, I never thought, yeah, it's been like, 2.5 months since I used that, which is another fast thing I got over.
Fantastic.
But it's,
I would say sign up for some more, so that everything else, all your surgeries go smoothly as well. Sign up for some more healing sessions.
well, the only thing I can just say is when I looked at my daughter, and I think I still told you this before, and I said, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have this cancer. And she's just looking at me like, are you like nuts? But to say it and really feel like it, that's the trick, man. And I'll tell you another thing. One thing I picked up on, I'm trying to figure this out because consciously I'm really together. Subconsciously, we really don't know about that. But apparently, why is it when I get a body reaction and I don't know why. So in other words, when I went to get, I'm telling you, I'm all even keel, accepting the isness and all this other stuff, but I'll get that white coat syndrome in the doctor's office. And I was talking to the woman today about it. I call her my coach, the therapist, right? And she says, I said, am I nuts or why is my blood pressure go through the roof? Apparently I'm experiencing some anxiety that I'm not consciously aware of. Okay. So she goes, you are, it's just happening so fast at that moment that a million thoughts are going through your mind so quick that your body's responding to it, but you're just not seeing it. You follow where I'm going with this? It's just like I feel fine in the doctor's office. Why is your blood pressure up? I don't know. And I'll leave the blood pressure. If I leave the office, go and take blood pressure, it's fine. Crazy. But I was really getting hung up on that. And like when I was in the hospital, my blood pressure ran high, but I felt great. So I don't know. It was just something I thought I might have to dig into. That was her when I told you, she says it's happening so fast. I'm just not realizing it. But I was just saying the body must really know what's going on to react, So I didn't know if I could work on that subconsciously or not, is I guess where I'm going with this.
It may be a pattern that you know for decades you have, and it may be a pattern that your family has, somebody in your family has, of getting into panic. What Dr. Joe says is our bodies are subconscious mind. So the body will remember. Like if you're used to in the past, if you were used to, if a situation was not favorable towards you, you were used to having a panic attack, your body is responding to it. It is perceiving the subconscious. It's thinking of the situation as the same unfavorable situation, and the body's already responding.
Well, I can tell you this. I had the major panic attacks back in '97 is when I quit drinking. And I told everybody I was being a macho ego, right? cause I'm a bunch of construction workers, I'm you know, just full blown wild man, right? And I, I'm gonna tell these guys I'm having panic attacks. They're gonna look at me like, what? They're gonna chew me up and spit me out, you know? But, yeah, the panic attacks is what freaked me out completely. And I quit drinking then. But yeah, panic attacks does run in my, my nature here.
And that's what your body is bringing up, that memory. It knows the memory of knowing the panic attack, and that's driving your blood pressure. If your therapist knew that history of yours, that you have a history of panic attacks, then she would have said that is what is playing into your panic. Because
I didn't tell her that. You're right.
unconsciously, your body, the body, this is what nature personal reality says is, even before a car is hitting us, like the energy formation is just a invisible light and sound within us, right? It already knows, the body already knows that the car is about to hit us, even before our mind can process it. Right? So I don't know if you've noticed, like when you're driving, sometimes when people are changing lanes, you already know. Somehow, internally, even before your mind is registering the exact movement of the car changing lane and cutting you off in the front. If you pay attention, you know that already before the action actually happens, and that's what your body is already responding to the panicky conditions. It is determined that this is unfavorable condition, because I don't know what these doctors are going to do. They're going to misdiagnose me. Some kind of thing, some limiting belief may exist in you. Especially since you didn't believe them, which is fantastic. Best blessing ever.
But it is getting better. I will say it used to be way up. Now it's just like, it's elevated. But still, me, I try to strive for being perfect. That's where a lot of the anxiety stems from anyways, from trying to have control, being so anal and perfect about everything. When something goes awry, then you flip out, but now it's just like like a duck, man. It rolls off my back. I could care less, you know.
If you ask Anthony William, he'd say something about heavy metals in the body, that you have heavy metals in the body, and the heavy metals, the viruses are feeding off the heavy metals and causing the high blood pressure situation. That's what high blood pressure is.
Well, I can tell you what I did. I don't know about I really don't know about that, but I was there's this guy that was just talking. He predicts um when you're gonna die, the mortality rates, Joe Rogan had him on his show, and then Dana White, the UFC guy, owns
Mhm.
he hangs out with Trump and all them. Long story short, it's a real business where they can predict when you're gonna die within like a month or two,
Okay.
right? And some people want to sign up and want to know. Well, that's where Dana White went ahead and said, "Well, I want to know." He said, "Well, you're done in 10 years, not unless you do this, 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 and this. And, you're gonna have to drop weight. You're gonna have to do this and do that, and then we can put you in the computer and project you out another time." And he did. But he said, what all cancer people have, it's a lack of oxygen in one way, shape, or form. And I don't care what your cancer is. That's what it's a lack of oxygen that is like the baseline on all subjects. And I'm thinking, well, you know what? It really didn't work out that much. I didn't really get a lot of cardio in. It had me thinking. So, I'm taking it. Being as I got a second chance, I'm going to take it a little more serious this time. I've already started with the trainer. So
It's not so much as working out. I would strongly recommend check out the medical medium protocol. And take, I mean, you don't have to change your diet drastically. At least do fundamental things like do celery juice, do the lemon water celery juice, and heavy metal detox. Because if you were in the construction business, you have inhaled enough metals, enough chemicals of pain.
Oh, God,
You
yeah.
have-
I worked in chemical factories, man.
yeah, so you heavily intoxicated toxin. There's enough toxins in your body where you have heavy metals,
And
and
that-
that may be causing the imbalance as well.
And that's where they talk about the 85-hour fast. It lowers your cancer risk and all diseases by 70%. To do a 80-hour, is it 80
Don't
hours?
do it.
60
Don't do
hours.
it. Don't do any fast.
What's that?
Don't do any fast. Don't do a fast. Just do this. Cleanse your heavy metals. We'll give you the heavy metal recipe for what goes in the heavy metal detox smoothie. Just try it. Try those 3 things. And I would say do the pharmaceutical exposure shot too, because you've had enough pharmaceuticals. Do these 4 things and see in a month or 2 what happens.
I'll give it a shot. I had to stop the lemon. I was doing that, and then it was burning my throat because it was healing, you know. But I could feel that, and I can't do any mints or anything like that. But I'm still having late side effects, you know, swelling and throat and all that stuff. You know, I mean, I stopped breathing at night, all kind of stuff, man. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, crazy.
It'll heal. It'll heal.
I'm
do
just
your
getting better.
meditations. Do your meditations. It will heal.
Every
It will heal.
every single day. I do not miss a day,
Awesome.
and I do it first thing in the morning. It's all part of my routine.
Fantastic.
Like a little program, Punian robot.
I'm going to become famous for saying that, right? Do your meditation. Do the work. As Dr. Joe says, do the work.
Yeah, put the work in. That's what nobody can do it for you, right?
Exactly. Everybody do your work and you'll see the results.
Hey, I messaged April and I said, look, man, now here's where y'all think I'm gonna be nuts. I said, April, I had to ask you, remember the workshop you had? I said, why did you say when we were meditating, see purple? And she basically said, why you ask? I said, because when I meditate, I see purple. And I'm sorry, I mean, if I close my eyes in the morning, I will see purple clouds will start coming up. Now, I don't know if you guys have had that kind of experience or not, but I am. And I mean, I go deep, it turns into a star field, the whole 9. So, she says it's my 3rd eye opening, is what she said to me. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm learning, I guess. But yeah, I see it so much, and it becomes more and more vivid. And I mean, I go deep, man. So
Purple indigo is the 6th center, which is the 3rd eye, what people call the 3rd eye.
yeah, what did I say?
Like red is the 1st center, 1st chakra. Orange is the 2nd, yellow is the 3rd, 4th is green.
Do you guys ever notice any colors?
Sometimes I sometimes see like mandalas, like really extensive graphic kind of thing. Yeah, colors, sometimes green. It depends.
If I mean, as soon as I close you know what pixels are on the screen, okay? On the television. You with me? Pixels?
Mhm.
When you close your eyes, that's what I see. I see billions of pixels. And then I focus on one and it takes me deeper. And then all of a sudden I focus on one again and it takes me deeper and deeper. And I keep going through these. That's how I got that zero thought that one time. And it was wow.
How
I
long are you doing your meditations?
what's that?
How long are your meditations?
I'm still doing between 30 and 45 minutes. It's really all I can do.
I want you to do 2 hours.
What was
Find
that?
2 hours. I want you to do 2 hours.
2 hours straight?
Huh? You can break it up. Break it up.
Oh, break it up. I can break it up, yeah.
Break
Uh,
it up or do it at one instance. Either way. Either way.
I know I couldn't do it 2 hours straight.
You can do 2 hours straight.
I gotta wear my head wrap 6 hours. Wraps around my head like that. I could do that, but no, I mean, I'll give it a try. I mean,
Let me know. Patricia just started, right?
just started what? Patricia, what you just start?
To do like an hour meditation in the morning and then half an hour before I go to bed. But on the weekend, I do every Sunday. That's my thing. It's Center of the Magnet, 2 hours and 40 minutes nonstop every morning, every Sunday morning.
And then what? Must be one comfortable chair.
No, you actually sit, and then part of the meditation is you lie down. So he breaks it up a little bit. So first part, he puts you in that mode, then you do the breath, then you do the different divergent focus, and then you lie down to receive, and you like float away, and then you sit up again and you repeat the same sequence with different kind of words but similar parts. And it takes two, and it goes, oh wow, it goes fast because you're going for a ride and your heart opens so much that you just feel love to everything, everybody. It's so beautiful, so blissful.
Yeah, and that's a guided meditation.
Yes, he talks all the time. There's different kind of music
Okay. See,
that takes you through, because he needs to have your brain in the hypnosis, in that state, because he needs to, you know, program it almost differently, and then you were programmed for years. So he needs to be, you need to be very suggestible, right? So he, with the music, of the speaking, he puts you in a, I think, what is it, gamma waves, theta.
People who are not able to sit for very long, like people who've had like terminal illness, Hugh, they lie down during the whole meditation. Like it depends on what stage, like if you have like somebody has stage 4 cancer, right? And is not able to sit for very long. There's some people who are quadriplegics. They're not able to sit, right? They are in a wheelchair and they're not able to sit. He says, do the effort. It's in the effort and the intention. So if you're not able to try it, try a meditation and do another one back to back.
Well, body electric is also a very good one, and it's slower, and you lie down. You do like 7 minutes first of the breath, and then you lie down and you do the rest of the meditation lying down. Body electric.
yeah, okay, because I'm doing all mine in silence. I got a very peaceful house, and it's like it's easy. But yeah, I haven't been doing any guided stuff. So
You actually have a very powerful way. I can't really do, I need the guide. I need him because my thoughts take over.
Well, I mean, that's for me, I thought my mind racing was done until I went up and did this. And I'm like, man, my mind's like racing. I mean, going. And it really helps. Then I realized, I think I mentioned it before one time, that I hear some people, well, I'm just going to go meditate on it. And I'm like, what the hell do you mean by they're going to go meditate on it? You know what I mean? And what I've learned was that it's almost like when you dream and you go to when you go to sleep and you wake up with the answer, you know, your mind defrags overnight, you wake up with the answer. Well, that starts happening in meditation. I come up with a solution for this engineer, and I stopped the meditation, ran downstairs, started drawing it up on CAD, and sent it to him. And because we were stuck on this, he was stuck on this problem for like 3 months, and I drew up the solution, man. And I got it, and
Oh,
right
your
in the
pineal
meditation.
gland. Your pineal gland is getting information.
Yeah, so it's just for me. I mean, I just saw it was so clear, and that's what. So it's about getting down to zero thought. But I get all my problems solved in my
Oh,
morning
Poonam,
meditation.
I don't think you need Dr. Joe's meditation. He's already doing the work his way, and it seems so advanced. I never got really solutions in my meditations. I just work on emotions.
Really, I mean, I
What
mean,
I want you to overcome is your overcome your body cue, like the subconscious mind that is your body, the reactions that you're having in your body with your high blood pressure and everything. I want you to change that, and that can only happen when Dr. Joe reprograms you. Like his words say something that will reprogram your mind, the way you think and the way you believe in yourself, right? Like something about the past is going on within your body, and you need to overwrite that. And that's not going to happen if you, unless you can do your 40 minutes of no thinking, make 2 hours. I
yeah,
have a feeling it's still not effective. If your
I
body is reacting that way, if your body is having that high blood pressure, it's still not in the heal way you're healed.
yeah, I have plenty of past, that's for sure.
Well, he does, Dr. Joe, after the meditation, he said to go back. This is a new body, new day, new life. You know, it's like you after the meditation, you're getting into that new. So that's powerful. So
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, everything is great, you know. So it's just, believe me, if I wasn't into this with you guys, I'm telling you, I'd have been I'd have been in chemo for one. I mean, because it's just, you know, I'm vibrating at a high level, you know, and really, it isn't that I'm better than anybody, but I'm saying is, I mean, you know, when I came in, I was at a lower level, didn't understand anything, but now that so I'm 5 feet off the ground. Now I'm about 1,000 feet off the ground, and I can see for miles. It's my awareness now. I can see, right? And I can see other people struggling. And I already learned they got to do it themselves. They got to put the work in, but they're going to stay right down there on the runway. Some people, they just won't go anywhere. They'll try, but they want you to do it for them, and that's the same. You know, we all been there, right? So, but as I unpeel the onion back and vibrate higher and higher and higher, that's where I keep going. I keep going higher and higher, you know, and that's and it opens up everything. You can, it's like you're just watching everybody. You know what they're going to do before they do it, you know, sort of thing. And yeah, I just find that it's just incredible.
And that's what I was talking about right before you joined here, that from what Dolores Cannon talks about, you know, that there are these entities that we can connect with when we get to that higher frequency, the highest frequency, faster frequency, then we can connect to these entities that are in other dimensions. You know, what Eckhart says, or what Dr. Joe says, that we are multidimensional beings. We can truly realize that multidimensionality, and that's what we are here for. We are not here to be dragged into all of the drama of what's going on with humans.
Well, you know, that's exactly what my therapist said today. She said that she goes, what you're finding out, you're going to get to a point when you vibrate higher and higher and higher. She says, I'm not really going to tell you what's coming, but you're well on your way, and you're going to be multidimensional before you know it. And she was just telling me about other people that are higher than her. They can, she was telling me they could see things.
Mhm.
And
That's what Dolores Cannon talks about. People have had extraterrestrials, like people who have been abducted by extraterrestrials. They've had experiences. Their vehicles have been disappeared off the highway. They've been abducted and taken away. People have such incredible experiences, and here we are, like, we're still stuck on, why is this happening? Why is she doing that? He should, she should, they should, the government should, the president should. Why is this Democrat? Why is this Republican? We are just stuck on all of these things, but there is so much more, and that's what I have for 2024. Is let's expand this, not get into why Republican, why Democrat, why this, or why is the governor doing this, or why is the president doing this, or why is that world doing
no.
that. Mhm.
Isn't that incredible that Marianne Williamson is running for president in 2024?
Yes, but I don't know how long she's gonna last.
We have to imagine her as the next president.
Okay, 2024, Marianne Williamson for president.
Give her the energy, right? Let
Yes.
her, because she is the right woman. Hillary was not the right woman. We wanted a woman, but no. I think Marianne Williamson, with her spirituality, is the right leader for new United States.
I never heard of her. I mean, I'll be honest.
Now you did.
You guys need to stop watching social media. I was told this last time.
Actually, I was introduced to Marianne Williamson when I went for my career coaching, when I was in between jobs. And one of the coaches, at the end, when I was graduating after 8 weeks, 12 weeks it was, I said, do you have a special gift for me? I said, and she said, yes, I have a poem for you by Marianne Williamson. And that is the poem is about the fear you are, something.
The more powerful,
the fear you afraid the most, what you most afraid of. That you are powerful beyond measure. And it's the poem, and when I listened to it, it was me. And then I started seeing her everywhere. I started to seeing her talks, because she was teaching about Course of Miracles. Did you hear about that book? Have you heard it? So Course of Miracles is very powerful, and there are lessons on like every day, so 365 days, and you take each lesson every day. Course of Miracles, very powerful. And yeah, she's amazing. Just listen to her, and this is how. And then I was looking at her next YouTube video, and she said she was running for president. I was like, Yes. She
Look,
needs.
I didn't even see that, so I'll look it up. Take some notes. Hey, what if,
Awesome.
hey,
You
real,
enjoy it. You enjoy it. You're
what,
her speaking.
do you guys know much about the Tao Te Ching?
Tao
Yes.
Te Ching, yes. We actually, Eckhart was having all talks about it too on YouTube.
You know, Rob's doing a weekly show on Spotify, and they're going through each chapter of it for 84 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
they're
why
going,
he hasn't been showing up here. He has his own
he's
show.
got a girlfriend, so that he don't even say hi. I feel rejected. He don't even say hi to me.
Yeah, they forgot about us here too, you know.
But he's got that, and so I always ask him, I said, "You're gonna go to Punian?" And he's just like, "You, I'm so busy," and he really is. He's got a lot of work going on, and but he's doing it's one with his daughter. He's 2 times a week. He's doing with his daughter. One is it's Forgive to Live. That's the show, and then they do Forgive to Live on Sunday, and I think they do Wednesday. It's all in the Tao Te Ching. So just
Well,
good.
that's very, very ambitious talking about Tao Te Ching, because that's the wisdom in every word in that book. It's a very thin book.
Yeah, so I'm just real slow. I'm with Eckert. I remember Eckert said, it's like I'm gonna master Eckert first is what my intent.
Well, I agree. With Tao Te Ching, yeah, I was with Eckhart on it too.
And then I'm just really like now Joe Dispenza is where I'm gonna merge next, I think. I'm just trying to you guys been through it. It's probably a good I mean, I can't be one of these guys that jumps around. I'll get lost
I think the
or
best
confused,
way to think about it, Hugh, is that Eckhart is basically teaching what, and Dr. Joe is teaching how.
Right. Maybe I heard you say
But
that, right.
it's the same. It's really there for me, in my experience, they perfectly go together.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how perfectly. It's just so perfect. I
Yeah.
tried to use Byron Katie that Eckhart talked about, and I did her questions and is it true, and I did for a while, but it didn't stick. Dr. Joe stuck to me. So I mean I still love Byron Katie and her approach. I still follow her on Facebook and stuff, but again, it's something so that penetrates me so deeply, Dr. Joe's meditations. So his technique is definitely very powerful.
Yeah, and then you're right about the meditation. The one I did listen to him, it's like he goes, heart, and he yells out heart, and then he goes back, right, brain. It's just like I'm like going back like what the hell, but it like
Because
start
he has to shake you, right? He has to break the habit. You have to break, like completely take you out of the mode that,
yeah.
because
The
the brain is
preconditioned
like a
mode of we
horse with the blinders. It just goes through the same boom, and you have
right.
to move it. It takes energy
It's
to move
almost
it.
a preconditioning of what you think of meditation should be. He changes that up. You're right. You know.
He does hypnosis.
For people who have very active minds, he kind of like programs, like his words will take your active mind and you will have to follow the words. If there was silence, then your active mind takes over.
Yeah,
But because you have to follow his instruction, right? Like when he says go into the blackness, you're going in the blackness. If he says, focus on your first energy center, you're focusing on your first energy center. When he says focus on your second energy center, you're focusing on the second energy center, and so on
Yeah,
and so
you
forth.
kind of
Instead of
have to train your body. Yeah, train your mind.
it's a It's getting late. I know, Patricia, you may have work tomorrow. Hugh, we are so infinitely grateful that you were able to join us. And the fact that you ended our 2024 with a huge celebration that you are healed.
Yeah.
We are so, oh my God, indescribable. No words, speechless. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
for-
you guys. I mean, it's all couldn't have done it without you guys.
Thank you. Lakshmi, you have something to say to wrap up?
Yes, I'm really thrilled that he got healed. It is such a wonderful news. So congratulations again, Hugh. So
Thank
good to hear. So good to hear. Yeah.
Remember, when you heal everybody. You know, it's that energy you putting out there in the quantum that it's possible, so more people can do it.
I'm getting so much of it back, believe me. You know?
And I wanted to say thank you for choosing your divinity over your humanity, or thank you for choosing for being here. Eternally grateful to all of you. Happy New Year. Have a wonderful, I think 2024 is going to be an incredibly amazing year for this group. I can just tell, like the momentum is building, has been building for the past 2-3 years. Now we need to just like take over, right?
Let's vibrate higher and higher.
Higher. Many blessings, much love.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Hey,
Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Take care.
Yeah,
Bye.
Happy New Year. Bye.
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 Bye.